morning. Welcome to Brighter Morning with Bo, and I am Bo Tiwari, your host. And we thank you for watching and for paying attention to issues. And we are glad to have you on board to talk this morning. We have two important guests this morning. The first is Mr. Farley Augustine. And he, of course, if the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, wins in Tobago, he will become the Chief Secretary of Tobago. And we will have a conversation with him this morning. The second half of the program, second hour, we speak to Mr. Dennis Pulchan, who is the Commissioner of Prisons in Trinidad and Tobago. And right now, prison officers are being gunned down by criminal elements in the country, and we want to have a discussion about what is happening in the prison service and why prison officers are being singled out. Now, I have the newspapers with me this morning. As every morning, I go for the newspapers. And the only newspaper that was available this morning is the Daily Express. So this front page story, Christmas Hit List Association, that's to say the Prison Officers Association, has indicated that prisoners planning to kill 13 officers. I want to ask about that information. If the Prison Officers Association has that information, did they provide it to the police? And are the police acting on that information to do anything about it? Or is just an old talk society in which we talk and celebrate and want to identify with Black Lives Matter in the United States, but in Trinidad and Tobago, nobody's life matters. We just talk and talk and talk. And when action and plans and institutional responses are required, we don't get anything. So I have two questions. One, did they convey that information officially to the police? And secondly, are the police and is the police service as an institution under the current deputy commissioner doing anything about this? So we will see. We will talk about that. The stories continue. War on prison officers. Cops responded quickly to killing in Siparia. Controversy about that. Martin Daly asked why no draft law on mandatory vaccination. 30 anti-vaccine activists arrested. I don't know the context of that story because I have not read it. I am just reading the headline, so I simply share it with you. And then Minister Hines making a claim, state agents helping bring in guns, drugs. Again, I want to ask Minister Hines, if you are the Minister of National Security and you are saying this, which means you have information or knowledge or intelligence about this, is there something that you can do besides talk about it and tell the public? And can you act in such a manner as to honor the Constitution and the law of the land and bring people who are involved in criminal activity to justice and not turn it into a political activity or a political witch hunt or some kind? And that is the problem with Trinidad and Tobago. The announcements and the pronouncements have political value. They are talk in the wind in order to make political points. But when it comes to action that is required, having to do with governance and good governance, you have nothing. Anybody looking at Trinidad and Tobago, watching the vaccination rate, which is poor, watching the continuing proliferation of the Delta virus and the dying of people in the ICU as the system becomes overwhelmed and people refuse to be vaccinated, who are seeing these murders everywhere. There was a gang murder in Laventille yesterday that I spoke about. 2 young people under the age of 20 and another one 32 years old. I saw the bloody faces of these people on a video. I didn't show it here. You have the prison officers being killed. Everybody is making a big deal about the fact that the man was holding his child's hand. So you had father and daughter and they killed him anyway. And that is sentimental and it's nice to talk about that, but the man is dead. Somebody took out a gun and shoot the man. Eliminated his life. So feeling sorry and having empathy and talking about the tragedy of the fact that he was holding his child's hand and that they killed him is not a solution to the problem. The problem is to find the perpetrators and bring them to law and justice. I mean, really. I think things are getting out of hand in this place. You know, you cannot run a country by state of emergency. You cannot run a country by state of emergency. And you cannot have a state of emergency situation in perpetuity. So now that the state of emergency is over, the state has to govern. They have to manage. The institutions have to work. The ministers have to go to work. The executive. The parliament has to work. The police service has to work. The customs has to work. The military has to work. The Coast Guard have to work. The judiciary has to work. The prison system has to operate. You cannot have a society without laws and without enforcement of the law. And you cannot have a government of crisis, moving from crisis to crisis. This morning we have as our first guest Mr. Farley Augustine. Is he on the line? Okay, we've got to get him on and make a call and make sure that he is on. We want to talk to him on serious matters here this morning. And I was talking, large numbers of people unvaccinated, Delta proliferating, Omicron on the way. It is now in 22 countries. And we are finding out that this thing is not of South African origin. The South African scientists did us a favor by making it known to the world, but it was there in Holland, and it has been in a number of countries in which people have not traveled to South Africa at all. So, most likely, the context for the emergence of this virus is, one, the large numbers of unvaccinated people, all right, and the vaccination resistance movement. And the second thing is the distribution of vaccines in the world, which is only now approaching reason, because there was a vaccine distribution hesitancy by the industrialized world to start with, which resulted in some countries having 70% vaccination and other countries having 2%. So those two factors, because the mutations occur when the vaccine begins to spread among the unvaccinated, those two factors are responsible for this. And we still have not had the truth about this COVID-19, which is that we do not know if this thing originated from bats in China or whether it happened in a lab in Wuhan and who was responsible for it. You know, these are important things. And the world goes on its merry way, dealing with the immediate crisis or trying to deal with it. But I tell you, this Omicron virus has created an unprecedented situation in the world. It is going to wreak economic havoc. The critical thing is whether the virus is deadly or whether it is relatively benign. That is going to pass through you as a human being as a flu if you're vaccinated, but you're not going to die from it. And I see all the manufacturing drug companies now trying to talk about a vaccine that could deal with this particular virus. How much escalation of vaccination power are we going to increase? I mean, I am very pro-vaccine, but Jesus Christ, how are we going to go on? Are we going to make stronger and stronger vaccines and have this thing proliferate? What is the source of the problem? The source of the problem in this country, we have banned people from the southern African region in which the infection has been initially found, not originally, because we found one in Holland before. We've banned people from those countries, okay? And countries now, you are seeing what is happening. They are making new rules about how you can enter their country. When you come in, there are new rules. They're trying to control the travel of people. Okay? But we have half the population unvaccinated here. If we block out Trinidad and Tobago from the rest of the world, we still have to deal with half the population that is unvaccinated and walking about the place claiming freedom and being a perpetual part of the problem. Where's the logic in all of this? In the United States, you have 60 million people who are unvaccinated. And this repeats itself in other countries. In Germany, you have a problem. In Austria, they had to take very, very severe measures to deal with that. So the issue is not freedom for the unvaccinated and proliferation and mutation of the disease and then stronger and stronger vaccinations. I mean, that is a never-ending dead-end cycle. You can't win that battle. Have we reached the point of unprecedented realities where we are incapable of intellectually identifying the problem and solving it in the world and in the country? And have we created a situation in which the situation is so unprecedented that we cannot come up with the innovations required to take command of this situation? And that is really the challenge. It's a world challenge. It's a local challenge as well. So there is no substitute for thought. There is no substitute for thinking. This unprecedented situation is beyond the realm of existing knowledge and precedence. And we have got to find a way of dealing with this matter locally and internationally. And it has to be collaborative, because one country cannot protect itself from this. But I know that the initial problem in a country like this is that you have so many people unvaccinated when you have the vaccines available. when people were crying out a few months ago because of vaccine apartheid and vaccine divisions and vaccine unfairness and so on, which is true and legitimate, but there is no such excuse in Trinidad and Tobago. So I make a last plea to the unvaccinated, please go and get vaccinated. As I said yesterday, it's like voluntarily giving yourself up to suicide if you don't take the vaccine. Somebody I know very well, with whom I've had personal interactions, he's not a relative, but he's a friend of a friend, refused to take the vaccine under any conditions. He spent 60 days in ICU and he died. He left a wife and 3 children. That makes sense? We take a break for commercials now, and when we come back, we talk to Farley Augustine on the phone.
Welcome to Lifetime Solutions, where you can trust your roof to us. Our services include custom fabrication, steel framing, roofing installation, on-site roll forming, roofing maintenance and services. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today, or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionst.com. Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today, or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com.
As businesses adapt to the new normal, let Magic Mist take care of your cleaning and sanitization needs with our COVID-19 BSCAI internationally certified technicians. With over 43 years of protecting the health of our nation, you can trust us to ensure your building remains safe, healthy, and functional. Give us a call today at 638-6675 or 332-5522. Magic Mist Services Limited, your total facilities management solutions provider.
I am Boxer Potts, and you are?
I am the host of our talk. You refer to me as Mr. Zaid Mohammed.
Join us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Hard Talk, Hard Facts, Hard Hitting, not politically soft like my brethren in this side here.
And that is old talk, not hard talk.
The universal message of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Join me 3 p.m. every Friday on Multicultural Television as we discuss the issues from the perspective of Islam and Muslims. Let us unravel our culture and our history as we cultivate peace through dialogue in multicultural Trinidad and Tobago. Time is drawing nigh. It is high time we face the reality only on Muslim Reality.
Coconut flour, flour.
Flour, boy, we making flour, moko planting flour, coconut flour, all the Sanmon Green Corner. Learn about livestock production, housing, feeding, processing, crop production, salting, spraying, drenching, pest and disease control, home gardening tips, biopesticides. every Monday and Wednesdays at 1:30 p.m. Join me each week as I bring to you some helpful agricultural tips. I am your host, Eknath Singh, wishing you a happy planting and a healthy harvest.
Join me, Dr. Shivan Mahabir, on The Present Mind, where we look at common mental illnesses and help you to live a happier, healthier life. We are on MCTV, Tuesdays 1:30 p.m. and Thursdays 1:30 p.m. See you then.
Hi, this is Michael Ruplal, attorney at law. I'm inviting you to join me every Thursday at 5 p.m. on MCTV for The Social Contract. It's a new show where we will be discussing bills that are being debated in Parliament, topical legal issues and recent decisions of our courts, and where we'll be giving general legal advice on issues that affect you, the public. I encourage all of you to continue looking at MCTV, bringing you back to where you belong.
Hey, how you doing? This is Big Rich, the Pungalunks. Dudu darlings, I am here every week. Every week I am here for you with the MCTV Top 20 Chutney Soca Countdown with all your top chutney artists. You're going to love it. Join me every week on MCTV Chutney Soca Countdown. Top 20. Big Rich say so.
Good morning. We're trying to get Farley Augustine. We're unable to reach him by phone. I don't know what has happened. We tried him on WhatsApp. We tried him on the regular phone line. I sent a message. I don't know what has happened. I know he had a late political meeting last night. I hope he's not asleep. We did ask Tracy Davidson also, Celestine, to come on the program, and we did not get a confirmation. We try to be open and fair here. I think the people of Tobago need to know what choices they are making. They need to know what the political parties stand for. They need to hear the political personalities defend themselves on the basis of attacks by the other party. And they have to have their actions and their words come under scrutiny. I don't see how else you can make a rational decision in politics. What is the sense of supporting politicians on the basis of blind loyalty when you don't know what they stand for and what they believe? And that goes for both sides, both parties. And if you cannot put them under scrutiny, and if you can't ask them questions, and they cannot answer the questions that you ask them with any level of credibility, then that's a problem, it seems to me. It does not have to do with one party, it has to do with both. The PNM has been there in the House of Assembly for over 2 decades. And now they come with plans and promises. How credible is that? Issues about the PDP and what their intentions towards Tobago in relation to Trinidad have been raised. And these are legitimate questions to answer. And the people of Tobago need to know and have clarity in order to make a decision. More than that, the election in Tobago, while the voting is by Tobagonians, is of interest to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago because it has to do with the relationship between the two islands. It has to do with the extent to which governance in Tobago is meaningful for governance in Trinidad and Tobago. And it has to do with whether we continue in a relationship as a many-island state. I always mention it's true that we don't have people living permanently on the other islands. But we have 5 islands off the coast of Chaguaramas here. And we have Tobago as well, and we have Trinidad. 7 islands together constitute the archipelagic state of Trinidad and Tobago and Trinidad, if you want to call it that. So it's important to question our politicians and so on. Farley has been good. He's been here before. He has spoken. Watson Duke has been here before. He has spoken. We've asked him some hard questions and he has answered. We asked Farley some hard questions when he was here last time and he's answered. And Tracy Davidson Celestin was here. We asked her some hard questions and she answered. But election is on December 6th. I'm sure a lot of people have made up their minds already, but I'm sure that there is a handful of people who perhaps are not sure what they want to do. And clarification by the political aspirants in Tobago would have been important for the democratic process. So I don't know what has happened. I don't have an answer on my WhatsApp, so I don't know what the situation is with Farley Augustine. I called him on the phone and the station called him from the other phone. I don't know what has happened. So we will see. We'll see whether we get him. I'm trying him now. Okay, we will see if we get any response later. Meanwhile, I'd like to tell you that the number is 609-6283, 609-6284. You can call and you can express your point of view or you can make a comment. If we do not get Farley in a couple of minutes, we will go on to Commissioner of Prisons Pulchan. We had told him that we would be on at 7:20, but we'll probably go earlier if we cannot get Farley. Okay? So remember, our numbers are 609-6283, 609-6284. You are welcome to call and express your point of view. What are the other issues making the news today? Well, the big news is really about this virus that is now spreading like wildfire, literally all over the world. And it is basically endangering not only the health of people and challenging health systems. Nobody has died from this virus yet, I want to say, which is what is tempting scientists to say that it looks like if you are vaccinated, it has only a mild effect on you. But the point is that it has broken through the vaccine, and that is something that was unanticipated and hoped against, but it is happening, and we've got to deal with this matter, you know. So that is a problem. It's a problem all over the world for every country. It's going to affect travel. It's going to affect tourism. It's going to affect global business. It's going to take a toll on the logistical situation, which is already exacerbated in the world system, leading to very, very high prices. I don't know how the energy situation is going to be affected. The price of oil and gas remain high, and some of the commodities, derivative commodities from natural gas also remain very, very high. And Trinidad and Tobago is benefiting from that. We don't know how that will be sustained. But in Trinidad and Tobago, we are in a very, very tough situation. A lot of people are under real pressure. There's a lot of mental health issues in Trinidad and Tobago, psychological problems. First of all, with the children who have been out of school, who are online in school, who are partially in school, and there can't be any definitive position on this vaccination situation with vaccinated and unvaccinated. We can't go on forever with this. The Omicron virus is going to come here. The US has already, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta, which is really a disease control institution connected with the World Health System, but very much dedicated to disease control in the United States and the Americas. They have already put Trinidad and Tobago on an advisory list where they have asked Americans not to travel to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I don't know what is the reason for this. The reason might be the number of unvaccinated, the number of infections, the number of deaths, and the overwhelming of the system in Trinidad and Tobago. All these things might be contributing to it, and the existence, of course, of the Delta virus in Trinidad and Tobago, which is wreaking havoc with the number of deaths every day in this country. But another issue might be anticipation that if Omicron gets to Trinidad and Tobago, we have not demonstrated that we have the capacity to deal with it. And we do not know yet, the world does not know yet what is going to be the effect of this. And what am I talking about? That is to say, whether it will be lethal, as the Delta is proven to be, whether it's going to be mild, and whether or not there might be more mutations that we cannot anticipate the effect of if it proliferates in a small country like ours. The other reason why they may have issued that warning is because they know it's an election in Tobago. They know it's a small island of 60,000. And as I warned here over a month ago, with the non-vaccinated population in Tobago being over half, and with campaigning in Tobago in full glare and in full fancy, you are bound to have a spike in infections in Tobago after the elections. I want to say that that is a reality we have to deal with. These are decisions we made, and these are the consequences. The decisions have been made to go ahead with the elections. The decisions have been made by individuals not to get vaccinated. And the consequences we will have to live with. You know? The irony of this is that you make your decision not to get vaccinated. And I am affected by it, even though I have 2 vaccinations and got a booster. We are all affected by the decisions of one another. You know, the world is interconnected. People in a society are interconnected. You cannot think of yourself alone. The country is too selfish. And we see that from the top to the bottom in this society. That's part of our problem. Every achievement in Trinidad and Tobago is an achievement by an individual who have surmounted obstacles and triumphed over conditions and achieved something either in Trinidad and Tobago, the region, or the world. There is very little in the way of collective achievement. We do not know how to come together collectively, purposefully, in order to do something as a society for tomorrow. It is a congenital defect of Trinidadian society. And I say Trinidad and Tobago society, we've seen it in Tobago now, because it is rooted in our culture. It doesn't happen in Barbados, it doesn't happen in Jamaica. They have an idea of a society, of a nation, you know, and it might happen in other islands, I don't know. But I know in Trinidad and Tobago, that sense of collective purposefulness and that sense of doing something today in order to make something better tomorrow in a collective sense is really absent, you know. And we've got to examine ourselves, you know. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. And if you do not examine your life, if you don't examine your society, you're likely to persist in the same way and not make any changes. These unprecedented developments in the world require dramatic, innovative responses and interventions. You cannot operate on the basis of how you operated before. It is a different ball game. It's a different scene, you know. And all of these things that are happening in Trinidad and Tobago all at once, they require a comprehensive response. They require a collective response. They require a collaborative response. Okay, this thing is bigger than anything else. I mean, really you're dealing with, on the global scale, you're dealing with humanity at stake. And when you're dealing here in Trinidad and Tobago, you're dealing with the population at stake. If 20 people die every day for the next 100 days, how much are we talking about there? If 20 people die for 10 days, that is 2,000. 200. And if 20 people die for 100 days, how much is that? Not 2,000 people just off the map just like that. People that you know, people that you live with, people that you are friends with, people that you are family with, people that you are connected with. You want to see that in Trinidad and Tobago? You want to see a situation in which half your neighbors are gone? In which half your friends are gone? In which half your family are gone? I mean to say, man, you know. And how are we going to live if the economy never gets back on its feet? You're going to plant garden at home? That is a good thing to do as a supplement. You can't survive on that. You're going to stay home all the time? This is a serious state of affairs in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. It's a serious state of affairs in the world, but it's a serious state of affairs for Trinidad and Tobago. We are 2,000 square miles. We are 1.4 million people. You know, we are in the center of everything. Everything passes through here. Everything passes through here. The good, the bad, the ugly. And that is part of our problem. The governance systems are not strong enough to protect this nation. And the people who govern, regardless of who it is, do not seem to understand the challenge properly and cannot put into effect what is required. And we have elements of the system that are corrupt and compromise the system. And the end result is the chaos we have today, the murders we have today, the gangland violence that we have today, the inequality that we have today, the uncertainty that we have today. Anyway, we take a break now and we come back in a minute.
Welcome to Lifetime Solutions, where you can trust your roof to us. Our services include custom fabrication, steel framing, roofing installation, on-site roll forming, roofing maintenance and services. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com. Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com.
Sport Insight, where we bring sport to life. Be viewing every Monday and Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. right here on MCTV.
Welcome to Lifetime Solutions, where you can trust your roof to us. Our services include custom fabrication, steel framing, roofing installation, on-site roll forming, roofing maintenance and services. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com. Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com.
Welcome back to Brighter Morning with Bo. We seem to be having some technical difficulties as well. People are calling in on the line, but we cannot pick up the call. I don't know if it is in the station or in the telephone network. I don't know what is the problem. And the second thing is that we're not getting, usually Farley is reliable. So we give him the benefit of the doubt on this. I don't know what is the problem. I don't know if there's a communication problem, a technical problem having to do with the telephone system. In this country, if it rains, drizzles for 2 minutes, you have flood. If it drizzles for 5 minutes, your telephone system is affected. If it drizzles for another 10 minutes, you have electricity problems. Really, this is a society to live in the 21st century. This is a society in 2021 going into 2022 in all of this crisis that is managing itself. Everything just going to hell like this. And we sit down as citizens and we watch the deterioration of everything and the deterioration of governance in the society at every level. And what do? we do nothing, we say nothing, we just mosey along, hoping that something will happen. I mean, really. Is that what responsible citizenship is? It's going to come to a head unless we take stock of ourselves in Trinidad and Tobago, I want to say. Things are not nice here. We have a caller, we'll talk to him or her. Hello, morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You see, we're having problems with the calls. The calls are coming in, but the calls are dropping. I don't know if there's something wrong with the wireless system. I don't know if there's something wrong with the telephone system. I really don't know. Okay? And I don't know if it's a problem of the rain. I don't know if it's a problem of the system. I don't know if it's a problem of sabotage. In this country, you can't know anything. I mean, because this is a country of rumors and misinformation, and you could never know the facts. It's hard to get the facts here unless you really pay attention, because everybody in their own spin zone. You know, nobody is interested in the truth or facts. Everybody accusing the other person of lying, but you can't get the facts straight from anybody. I wonder how long we're going to go on so and live in this spin zone, this multiple spin zone in which everybody have their own spin. And all these zones, these spin zones are connected to each other and keep spinning all the time. All right? Making a misinformation system like cotton candy proliferation. Anyway, we break now for the news with Andrew Chan. And when we come back, we'll see if we can get the Commissioner of Prisons on the line, and we will talk with him for as long as we are able to. Thank you very much.